These black country blokes chewing the fat.
Listen.
I've been hearing a lot lately about men don't talk, but in my experience, men do talk, just people aren't listening. So it's going to be me and a group of blokes discussing our struggles and victories through life. Warning, there may be some bad language, so apologies to all the moms, especially my own. Let's get going.
Listen.
Yeah, just the Black Country Blokes chewing the fat, but everything it is mental health, disability, and life in general. Here with me, Kev Dillon, and my partner in crime, as always, Lee Cadman. First of all, Happy New Year. I hope everyone's having a great one, and we're going to be talking about Christmas, New Year, New Year's resolutions, and everything in between. But as always, we always start with our gratitude list. Now, I had the flu. Me, my wife, my daughter were all very poorly, like three poorly bears in a cave. But we were all loved. We were all loved, and we were all sat there in the warm in our house watching Christmas movies. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful we were all there. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful at Christmas. But we're grateful for Kevmas, and I saw my old mates I've known for 20, some of them 30 plus years. And it's great seeing them. And then we're all poorly, so we're all wrapped up. And I'm grateful for the people I have in my life. And what it showed me, like having this virus, whoever has had this flu virus, I had it all on my chest and I was aching, and I had the chest and I couldn't swallow, and I started having panic attacks. And it made me grateful for life. It made me grateful for health. And I thought, my daughter's 7 now. I'm not quite ready to die. And it made me, I couldn't sleep, and I felt that poorly. And I thought, this year, I've got to get my ducks in order. I've got to start training again, eating better, drinking less. And sometimes you have to be in a low place to realise how good you have had it and how good you could have it. And that's not with money or a possession, just with health. So let's put it in, it's up to me how healthy I can make me. Some things, with viruses, illnesses come out of our control, but I have got a control over what poison I put in my body and how well I treat my body. What are you grateful for, bruv?
For someone in this room today.
Oh,
No, I had a conversation with Kev earlier. Just regarding really some things I'm having to chase up regards to my daughter, and I felt like it's been a long hard road chasing it all up, and I felt like I hadn't really got any further. And Kev reminded me I got further because I had more knowledge now than what I did when I started that journey. So sometimes you need reminding that, and Kev reminded me this morning of that. So I'm grateful for that, and also the course I'm doing the IPSI Send law courses. And the stuff I've learned from it's absolutely fantastic. And I advise any parent with a children with a disability to get on there. If you can afford the £300 close to, get on there, because it's absolutely fantastic. You will learn a lot, and it'll be really helpful, and we'll be helping people. Once I've passed the level 3, we'll be helping people. So anyone who needs help with their with getting into schools, with their EHCP plans, with exclusions from schools, all that, just drop us a line, we'll help.
You can tell us a little bit more about the course, Lee.
Well, that's it really. In general, it's it's a lot of it is regarding, well, all of it is regarding kids with special educational needs, and it goes into what our rights are, what we should expect, how to fill out an EHCP plan, how to request an EHCP plan.
What's that mean, though?
So a child with disability usually has educational health care plan, and that will it's a bit small in a podcast to really get it in without doing a whole podcast on it, to be quite honest, Kevin. Maybe we sit down and actually do that. We do a podcast on it where I'll explain everything about an EHCP. But basically, any healthcare need that enables them to go to school and progress as a child as much as that child can will be written down in there. So, for instance, if it's someone like my daughter, to involve her in a PE lesson, it takes certain things to be able to do that, and that will put those things in place by law to do that. It's the best way I can describe it.
But anyone who's been out there and who's been in this, I had it with my eyes back in the 80s and the 90s. to the 2020s. How hard you have to work for the basic rights of education, and able-bodied people and parents of able-bodied people don't always realise how blessed we are in the United Kingdom for education. Yes, it's not perfect, but we have a good standard of education within the country, and how hard people have to fight to get into either a suitable school or make that suitable school fit to that individual person. It's like a battlefield, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very much. It is very much like a battlefield, and it's a constant fight to get what's right and what's deserved. Yeah, it is hard work, but it's knowing the rights. Like I went to tribunal in, I think it was 2018 now. I'd never done anything like it before. Was very lucky that we had a great Sendias person, and the qualifications I'm getting now will is what the Sendias person is qualified up to. But if we didn't have her, we wouldn't have won it. Is the honest fact of it. We wouldn't have won. We wouldn't have won that case. But it's also after going through this training and realizing, I'm going to word this right, realize, you know what, I'm not, because we're on a podcast and it's the truth. So basically, the LA, the local authority, will try and screw you over every which way possible not to do their job. And I've realised that a lot more from doing this course of what is missing within my own daughter's EHCP plan. Things as simple as, if there is a physio involved, it shouldn't just be that a physio is involved. It should be that a qualified physio is involved for a set amount of hours, a week, a month, whatever you decide. It shouldn't just be that they're involved. It should be written, specific, so there's no interpretation of it. If you just say there's a physio involved, that could mean anything. If I write there's a physio involved, a qualified physio involved for 2 hours a week, 1 hour a week, not up to 1 hour a week, not up to that, literally say exactly how it is. There's no argument then. If they're not living up to that, then you can take them to tribunal. If I just put there's a physio involved, I can't take him to tribunal. So that physio may never see them. So yeah, it's been really good learning. Really enjoyed doing it, and I think we'll do a show on it. We'll get someone else in with us because I'm still doing the course. So although I'm learning it, I can learn a lot more, and there'll be people out there who can give people better advice. Really, at this point,
Because we said we start off with our men's mental health, and we're still men's mental health because we're men who's women's mental health. But then, like with a disability, and we've been thinking, obviously, the support group, we do the beatboxing downstairs where people can train for free, Tuesday to Friday, with all these things. But we've been thinking, what can we sink our teeth into? And this isn't just a New Year's resolution, we'll come on to it a bit, but we've been thinking, we want to make a bang for our book, don't we? We've had
for everyone else's book who donates, not just the money we put into it, but for everyone else who donates to us as well.
We did, as you say, we've had the Higgs have been wonderful to us, and other people have been wonderful. You know what I mean? So we've got this money. We didn't want to just waste it by getting. I know I'm not knocking anyone, so I'm not bad moving, but by having wristbands, and because wristbands are lovely, they're lovely. You know what I mean? But what do they actually do to help? So we've got this bit of money. And so you've gone in, and that we want to have like a citizens bureau upstairs where we're on at the boxing club, where every so often we can have it so people can come and ask Ali about it and say, you've been there first hand, Bert. What am I doing? Where do I start? Because sometimes the mountain's that big and that intimidating, you just don't know where to start.
Oh, Lord, I've been there. Say the first tribunal, I didn't have a clue. If it wasn't for that lady from Sendias, you forgot her name, which I'm really good to do it. But if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have a clue. We wouldn't have got through that. Just the stress of it. Like, to tribunal, it's a law, it's a court. It's just a small version of that court, really. I'd never been to court in my life.
When
so
even
the thought of doing that, and having a judge preside over you and things along that line. But it's not. Once I got there, obviously, it's never as scary as what you think it's going to be. And ultimately, they're just after what is best for my daughter. At the time, so it wasn't as scary as what I thought, but yeah, it's certainly a a very steep learning curve at that time. And I think I said on the podcast before, if that tribunal would have happened 3-4 months earlier, I don't know whether I'd have got through, because we'd spent 2 months in hospital with my daughter in in emergency situations, in ICUs and things like that, and in comas. I just think, hey, would I have got through that at that point? But luckily, we had a great lady from Sendias who helped, and that's all I want to do, really, pass on that help.
As we always say, it's when people ask me about the boxing and what Lee's doing now, don't give back because I did it because I loved it and I loved you. If we can be giving forward, if we're giving kindness and knowledge going forwards, and then that person gives forward, then there's always someone getting kindness and knowledge, isn't there?
Yeah, that's it, definitely. Actually, Sean, I'll just bring this message up. Sean Ferreira's message saying, could you PM me, because my friend has a disabled son and might be useful to her. Sean, if you message us on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you want to message us on, or email us, we'll definitely get back to you. I don't know whether I can PM you from this software, to be honest. So, but yeah, I'll what I'll do in a minute, scrolling across the bottom, as you can see now, is our website. I'll change that to our email address. So message us in any way you can, and if we can help, we definitely will.
And that's what we've got to be doing, trying to help each other. I said today, as I always do, I'll do my bloody hell, we're on TikTok, Instagram, all these things, and I try and release a video every day. And what I always go back to is, remember, kindness is always an option. Even when we're having the hell knocked out of us and we're having battered, kindness is always an option. Finding kindness in our heart and finding someone to be kind to is always an option. And it's easy to lose your rag and everything. And sometimes just thinking, if I can help someone, I will help someone, especially when they're worth helping.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we can get drowned down by people who they ask for help but they don't want the help. So when we can help someone who genuinely needs it, be it a pep talk, be it one of my best friends just needed to be reminded of something, or a vulnerable person, and say there are answers out there. But there's always an answer out there. But some people make it so bloody difficult to find the answer. It's impossible, as you've seen, as we both see on this journey, but with what's going on at the moment. Yeah. So if you have got someone who's got an inside perspective of going, don't bother doing this, go and see her, or go and write an email to your MP.
Well, there's we've had Pat Lewis on, haven't we, a couple of times. But Pat, he has an autistic son himself, and he knows the law really well. And he came up to my shop the other day and was speaking about a couple of cases that my daughter's going through. And he mentioned something called the SARS. I'd never heard of this. And basically, you can request any information from Dudley Council and NHS. It's basically Freedom of Information Act. Now, you go on Dudley Council and you search, I can't remember the exact thing name, but SARS reference, I think it is.
SARS?
SARS. SARS. Is it reference? I'll have to look at that. We go on Dudley Metropolitan Council, search that, and you fill out this form and you ask for exactly what you want, what information you want, and they have to send that to you. Now, I wouldn't have known about that if it wasn't for Pat, and that can be really useful information. And it's all about this learning, is it, Kev? The idea is once I finish this course, then there's a course regarding PIP and payments in that sense to disabled people, and I'll be going on that. So it's about building this knowledge, and I'd also like to fund someone else to do the Send Law course. So if there's a parent out there with a disabled child who's interested in doing the Send Law course, get in touch with us, because we're looking at funding one, aren't we, Kev? To the right people. We can't just fund anyone, unfortunately. We haven't got that kind of money to be able to fund everyone. So we have to choose carefully who we fund to do it, but we are looking at doing that.
And once we funded them, getting them to collaborate with what we're doing to give forwards the knowledge to other people, and we're doing it for nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We make nothing, so we're going to charge nothing, to get it. The course is costing, but the whole idea of it is there's so many good people out there, but we don't know where they are. So it's bringing good people together.
But if anyone else out there as well wants to fund someone to do this course, let us know, because there's no doubt we'll find people who are suitable to do it. And yeah, if there's any business out there who want to fund, so it's £275 to fund it. You can go on IPSI to see what the training is about and what it teaches you. Yeah, let's get the knowledge is power. The more knowledge we have as parents, and with mental health, with everything, the more knowledge you have, the more prepared you are for it.
I mean, this year we're going to be doing a suicide prevention course, either with Papyrus or with Dudley Mental Health Services. We're also going to do a team one, and I'd love for that, like, because everyone knows I run the boxing club, the Lions ABC in Brightliel, but I'd like to get other boxing coaches and coaches of different sports, especially amateur boxing, and let's get talking about suicide. So let's address the elephant in the room. And if we're all talking about it and we can help one another, seeing someone who's struggling, whether it's mental illness, whether it's with disability, whether it's with fitness, if we see someone struggling and we can help them, and then they accept the help and we can make them better, and then they help someone, that's called community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what back in the day, it doesn't take a parent to raise a village, a child, it takes a village to raise a child. And it's getting community to help one another again. Because let's face facts, if the people ain't going to help the people, no one's going to help the people at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what we've got to be doing. We can't be waiting for whatever parliament, whatever politics are coming in. We've got to be helping each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that has got to be on the tip of our tongues of New Year's resolutions, because we think, I'm going to pack in the fags, and then I have a fag, and oh, God, I'm smoking again, or I fall off the wagon, so I've got to stay off the wagon. If you're trying and you mess up, you have a takeaway, and I'm on a diet, doesn't mean you've got to have a weekend binge. You fell off the wagon, step back onto the wagon. Just because something has happened doesn't mean you've got to give up altogether. Like with this, if you help someone and he bites the hand that feeds him, learn. Don't feed him again, feed someone else. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Once again, have a New Year's resolution of being kind to yourself and to others, and treat yourself as kindly as you would treat others. So if you do mess up, fall off the wagon, you start using again, you break your diet, you don't go to the gym, say to your child or your partner or your old pal down the pub, don't matter, Bert, we'll do it again tomorrow.
Be
You'll
supportive,
be fine.
that's it.
Support yourself, support others. We should be lifting each other up instead of pushing each other down. And more we can do this, once again, if the people can help the people, they can't beat us. I watched a lovely thing, my Kate, my wife, I've had this book for years. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. And it come on TV. And I'll tell you something, it's fantastic, because I can't read and write very well. I'll do my little post, but I can't read because the writing's too small. I'm very illiterate. But I watched it, and it's on for half an hour. The animation was not all hand-drawn. It was only on for half an hour. The quotes were so poignant and beautiful. It was as close to perfect as I could get. Because sometimes when they do CGI or they do real people and digital animals, you go, oh, too much of a away factor. Or if it was on for an hour, it might have gone on too long. But it was as close to perfect. And some of the quotes that they said could have made me cry. And I must have watched it about 5 times. And it's going to be one of them things like a happy movie. When I'm feeling a bit low, I'm going to put it on. And there's a lovely thing he says. I can't remember what the boy was talking to. I think the horse or something. And he goes, what was the bravest thing you've ever said? And he said, help. And he goes, help isn't giving up. Help is refusing to give up. And I want you to remember that. Asking for help isn't, I've bottled it, I've given up, I've thrown in the towel. By asking help, I've acknowledged I need help. And therefore, by asking about it, I've refused to give up. And how powerful that is. And sometimes we all feel like we're going to give up. And just by saying, you know what, Lee, I need a bit of help, brother, or, you know what, I need a bit of time off work, or I've got to go to the GP, or I need to go and have a lie down because I'm not. Just by admitting that, you have refused to give up.
That it really is, isn't it? That's it. a different way of looking at it, isn't it? Because you don't look at it that way, do you, when you're going through it?
No.
But actually stopping and thinking about it, it makes complete sense, and he's right. And that you should have left that quote for the end.
Well, I'll put it
I'm going to reuse it.
It's one of them. Honestly, I recommend anyone who's on the BBC, go and watch it. I've tried to find it on YouTube to send to you, but I'll buy you the book because you are a reader, aren't you?
Yeah.
But to me, I think if I had it on audio book, it wouldn't have been as poignant because everything. It was the perfect storm for me. The beautiful drawings that remind me of like childhood drawings. You know, it was old-fashioned. It's a cartoon, but
it's like Winnie the Pooh drawing.
Yeah, like a Winnie the Pooh kind of animation with beautiful instrumental kind of music, which I love, and then just the beauty of it. And it's like a little boy, child under 10, I'd say, a mole, a fox, and a horse. But they're all parts of someone's personality. The boy is curious, and it's the boy and the mole sitting up a tree, and it's the mole says, he goes, "What do you want to be when you're older?" He goes, "Kind." And I thought, hey, beautiful. It's that beautiful, only a child could say it. You know what I mean? And the mole was so bright. But honestly, I recommend anyone goes out and watches it, and it'll be the best thing you watch. Because we're always talking, we love TV and movies, and how many times we've gone, "Have you seen anything good?" Well, it's all right. But it's for that half an hour, I recommend everybody goes and watches it. That's got to be a New Year's resolution.
To watch that. There we go. Nice and simple as well.
And I think, look, as we say, like with New Year's resolutions, and anyone who listens to this, I'm on the gratitude ship. It's something I have to work on. And when I was having my panic attacks over Christmas because of the flu and not breathing, and I'd be walking around, and I have to just keep going. Is it affirmations? Affirmations. And I just keep going over. I'm calm, I'm happy, I'm safe. Or I say different things. I'm calm, I'm happy, I'm safe, I'm loved, I'm whatever. And I have to say it over like 3 things, positive things, over and over at least 10 times. And just saying it if I'm lying in bed.
And you know what? One of the greatest boxers in the world use affirmations constantly. Well, actually 2 of I know of, Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. And by doing that, and he's not saying, because what's the thing we throw it out into the universe? I can't think of the word, but you go like manifesting.
Yeah, manifestation.
Manifest, and you go like, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be slim. I'm going to be slim. That doesn't work because I'm going to be slim. Thought isn't going to get rid of my beer belly.
Yeah,
I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to be healthier. So my affirmation for that, I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to be healthy. By saying that puts in my mind, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to feel healthier. I'm going to get there. That's the affirmations. But if I'm just going, I'm going to be slim. I'm going to be gorgeous. I'm going to be slim. I'm going to be muscular. That's just like throwing nothing out there.
Yeah,
you've got to tell yourself.
It's got to be achievable, hasn't it?
And it's got to be something that, like me and Murray, I'm loved. I'm safe. I'm happy. Because in my home, it's full of love. I've got my daughter, my wife, and my cat. My home, I'm loved. I'm safe. The door's locked, and I'm happy. By saying that, it's reminding myself of the gratitude list.
Sorry, Kevin. We had a question in from Jem Hawk. Can you repeat what you watched? I think I mean that.
The boy, the mole, the horse. The boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. I can't remember the writer.
I'm pretty sure it's BBC iPlayer.
It's a BBC iPlayer, yeah.
So you can catch it on repeat for free on BBC iPlayer.
And it is amazing. The boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. And it's amazing. As I say, they've all got the different characters. But affirmations, if I'm saying that right, helps me. Because I was saying to Lee, I've spent, I was 21 or 20 when I first met Jen. I was saying best part of 20 years of doing therapy and everything. When I have a wobble, I still have like a beta blocker to take the edge off it sometimes. But I was just reminding myself, like, I sit down, I do my breathing, and it's just, come on, you silly old sod. You've been through this before. It's not our first dance. we can get over this.
I think what you got to remember as well is therapy is great for some people, medication is great for some people. Or it's great. Everything works for different people. But if you go to therapy once a week and expect to be well for the rest of your life, you've got to work around that.
Yeah.
Work on yourself when you're not doing that as well. An hour a week or half an hour a week. It's only so much that can do.
With everything in the great scheme of things, like I am fat, Oh yeah, I'm fat. Yeah, I'm fat, and you think, well, you're aware of the problem. Will being slim make you happy? No, but I'm fat. I'm ever so unhealthy. I can't even walk up the stairs. You've identified the problem. What are you going to do about it? Now, I'm not saying you've got to run the London Marathon. I'm not saying, but if I take little steps to an achievable goal, I'm not saying I've got to lose weight, but if I can lose weight better, if I can get healthier. But so many people are aware of the problem, but won't do anything to change it.
Yeah.
Moaning is great for me and you. Oh, bloody hell, the wife, it used to do me in. I've got that off my chest. But if I want something to change,
get rid of her.
Yeah, or I can say, "What's up, darling?"
Yeah.
I can address the problem. I'm aware of the problem. Now I can change the problem. Now, my eyesight, we can't change it. Your dorsal condition, we can't change it. But we can damage control it. We can make the best out of that situation. And we can live with the hurdles. Some things, a lot of stuff in life, I hate my job. I'll tell you something, I dread my job. Why are you there? Have you got a mortgage? Or have you got... No, but I hate it. Then try something else. Oh, I wish I could go travelling, Oh, I wish I... Why don't you? Well, you know that most stuff, when we break it down, if we want it enough, we can do it.
Yeah.
Does it mean we're going to be a Muhammad Ali or a Mo Farah or a Kurt Cobain or a Tupac? But if I want to do it, I can do it.
And a lot of things, if you're doing it to be the best, you're not doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So do it because you enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Whether you're the world's worst at it or the world's best at it, do it because you enjoy it.
And enjoy.
It is on iPlayer. Sean has confirmed for us. Thank you very much for looking. Take a watch it if you haven't already, Sean. And Gemma Hawk's written in again, therapy should lead you to doing other things. If all you do is go to therapy, then it's not enough. And that's what we're saying. You need to work on yourself outside of that therapy.
Therapy, in my opinion, was great for me because I learned how to turn some switches off, some switches on, and it gave me tools. Give me tools, and I will go back to therapy when I need it. I'm going to go to a great bloke, Alex Walker, and he'd come on the show. And I said, well, what I'd like to do, I did, 6, 7, 8 weeks with him every week. Great. Did my hypnotherapy, got me over my fear of injections, got my loads of problems. I won't bore you with. He really helped me out. And I said, I'd like to come and see you, like, I don't know, once every 2 months. And he goes, then I haven't done my job. He goes, why do you need to check in with me? He goes, when an obstacle comes up, you know where I am. But don't feel like you've got to come and see me all of the time. Yeah,
you should have put the tools in your toolbox to be able to use to get over those things. But it's not going to be everything. Some things just blow it out, and you don't expect it, and it's not coming up. Okay. But the things that you are dealing with at that point, you should be able to carry on dealing with because you've got those tools now to do it.
He showed me, and one of the great things, like with my temper and stuff like that, I used to have the doorman at the front and the diplomat at the back. So you had to fight the doorman to get in to talk to the diplomat. And he says, well, how about we just swap them over? So you use the nice diplomat at the start, and if someone does give you a go, the doorman will come and look after him. And just by changing the same two things in my mind live, the clever diplomat who can be funny and everything, and the doorman who keeps me safe, but just by swapping them over, it changes how you meet and greet people. I haven't got to be aggressive, and then if you fight me to the death and I find out you're all right, then you can meet the nice side. How about you see the nice side, and then if you cross me, then you've got the doorman to handle. So by doing that simple thing as well as many other things, therapy really helped me.
Yeah.
And the hypnotherapy, I really talk highly about hypnotherapy. But when I've been having these wobbles, because I had the tools in place, I could handle it. And I could remind myself, I'm not having a stroke. I'm not having a heart attack. It isn't the first time we've been through this. So we can get it's uncomfortable, and then anyone who has a panic attacks and the anxiety attacks seem to be going on because I was poorly and run down. It was going on for days upon days, if not weeks, and you think, oh my god, is it ever going to end? But it does end. And realizing that, and we talk about that loads, don't we? Knowing eventually the wave will crash.
Yeah.
The store that's in the Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse as well. It's saying, don't worry, the storm will pass. And you honestly, guys, go out and watch it, and it's amazing.
We should have done that as the title, really, shouldn't we? Cover this. Spoke more about that than New Year's resolution. As per usual, we're not on topic.
But it's reminding yourself, everything goes back to this year. It's going to be a good year. Some years, 2012, terrible year. Every month someone died or someone had a breakdown. Every month something went wrong. But some years are just that year. Some things are completely and utterly out of your control. You know, we've all had them thinking, oh, bloody hell. And some years, we can make the best of it. And this year, touch wood, I'm going to have a good year because already had a small bit of adversity at the start, but reminding myself I've got the tools to overcome.
Yeah, I think it's also, we spoke again about this earlier, you've got to go into the year thinking it's going to be a good year. There's no point in going into it going, oh, this year's going to be crap. You're setting it off on the wrong foot. If you wake up this morning and go, oh, today's going to be crap, it's going to be horrible, got to do this, got to do that. You're waking up in the wrong mood. You're waking up and thinking the wrong things. So try and change that thinking. And I know it's easier said than done, but wake up and think, well, I have got to do that. But you know what? I also get to do this. And, I'm looking forward to doing this. Trying to change your thinking around it. And which is hard. It is hard, but with experience, it does work as well.
Someone said that to me once again, I guess how we frame things in our mind. And it's exactly what you just said. It's like, oh, God, I've got to walk the dog and it's raining. Oh, I've got to go for a run. Oh, I've got to go to work today. Instead of going, I've got to walk the dog. I'm going to get the exercise. I'm with my dog. I love my dog. I've got to go for a run. But doing the run, I am going to get wet. But I'm going to lose some timber. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to wear my brain out. I've got to go to work. At the end of the month, I'm going to get some money. You know, I'm going to buy myself something nice, or I'm going to save to the holiday. I've got to go to work. The dog needs walking, but it's how I perceive it.
Yeah. If you start the day by stumping your toe on the bed, you don't make for a great day, is it? And it's the same with your mind. If you're thinking that thing before you've even started the day, then the rest of your day ain't going to plan out that great.
Or you knock it up. The Shaggy, God rest his soul, died 10 years ago, and he was always like that. Oh, the universe, God's out for me. And it's the same with that. You stump your toe. Do you think God, in his infinite wisdom, or her wisdom, or the universe, or whatever you believe, has put that there for Kev Dillon to stump his toe on, with all the things that's going on in the world?
No, Kev, if it was me up there, I'd be doing
it. Would. But you think it is what it is. It's happened.
Yeah.
Swear. Do a silly dance, and then just go. It's happened.
Yeah.
I can't unhappen it. Move on from it.
Yeah. Don't let it spoil your day.
So let's, for this, make our New Year's resolution of being positive when we can. We can't always be positive because we're human beings. We're not robots. We're not whatever. Some days we're going to be down the dumps. Surround ourselves with people who know us well. So when we are in the down and dumps, we support each other.
Can I just add to that, Kev? Even if you know that person well, surround yourself with a person you know well, but also know when you need a break from that person, because you know what? There's people out there who aren't that positive, but they are your friends, and you shouldn't be dumping them because they're not that positive. But if you're not in a positive frame of mind and that person's not, you're just creating an environment that's not happy to be in. So if you need to step away and just go, you know what, at the moment that person is not that great for me. I want to help them. I want to do that, but they're not that great for me. Let's get my head right and then let's come back and help them.
Because sometimes when you're like, it becomes like a vacuum, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it can consume you, can't it?
You walk in and go, hey, you doing, mate? And then before then, you go, oh, God.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's
all rubbish. I'm going home.
That's all right, 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But once again,
And that doesn't mean you shouldn't be friends. And I
No.
like there's that say get rid of people who do. No, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it at all. But
There's some people who are low on life, and there's people who are toxic.
yeah,
People who are toxic want you to be miserable.
yeah,
Some people, because we're empathetic, they're miserable. So because I'm empathetic, I feel his pain, and because I care about him, I then become sad.
yeah,
And there's other people, the toxic people, who want you to be sad.
yeah.
And it's knowing the difference.
They
Today,
want you
isn't
to
it?
be in that dark room with them, don't they?
Whereas some people, or they're happy for you to be miserable, and they're off living the life of luxury.
Yeah,
But when someone is down, as you say, just go like, Lee, I love you to bits. I can't play today. You know what I mean?
I'm not coming out.
I'm not coming out. Or, you know what I mean? It's, you know, sometimes it's changing the narrative.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You got to know when. Once again, some people are lifers.
yeah,
Some people are just in a rut.
yeah,
You know, but you know when you do a first aid course, what is it? Doctor ABC, danger, risk, and all this. But the first one is danger to yourself.
yeah,
If there is a car accident and there's cars coming past you, you have to think, I've got to look after myself first.
Mm.
And that's the same
'Cause
in
if I get it, I'm not helping anyone.
or on the aeroplane. I've got to put my mask on first before I put it on the babbies.
Mm.
And sometimes that is also in friendship circles, because I'm already feeling very upset and very sad and very there. And if I have your stuff as well, any other day, I'm strong enough to lift us both.
Mm.
Whereas at the moment, I can barely keep on my own two legs, and be aware of that. And if they are a friend and not a toxic friend, they will understand that and go, you know what? That's great.
Mm. Yeah, and again, you don't have to go, I'm leaving, like you said, not come out to play. Go out to play, but just say, look, actually, I want to talk about this today.
Yeah.
And make that talk positive to build you and him up, maybe. Yeah. You know, instead of you both, I suppose, going down that rabbit hole of moaning at each other, go, actually, let's talk about this. What's happening with this instead?
Yeah.
And it's very easy, isn't it, this time? We speak many times about the cost of living and the dodgy politicians and all that. And you start going down that rabbit hole then, don't you, of just consuming you with it. And you got to stop and go, actually, that is going on. But you know what? We're doing fantastic over here.
And I think, like when I'm Black Country Blokes on TikTok, and I find myself scrolling, as so many of us do, we scroll. And TikTok's good for me. I didn't like TikTok at first, but it's good for me because it's all talking.
Yeah, I wonder why you like TikTok.
I used to. All the birds have left me now. But everything now.
It's just all men with beards and everything, the same as you.
It's a lot of conspiracy theories, but the conspiracy theories, like the people who 2 years ago it was a conspiracy theory, now it's coming out that it's all bloody true. So everyone who's there going, and they're rubbing their hands. But you listen to it and you go, you're an idiot. You got vaccinated. You got And I said to one of my best friends in the world the other day, and he was there going, and I went, look, bruv, I would not change what I did. If I had the same information now, would I do it again? No. But I did what I did for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And I love my family. I shut my club down because I love my Lions family. I did what any father, role model should do. And then, you have a bit of an argument, and it's again, the truth. I went, look, people are always badgering on about the truth, the greater knowledge. I went, but sometimes if you upset someone constantly pointing out you're just upsetting someone.
Mm.
So sometimes say, these are my beliefs. Let's move on from it.
Yeah.
But when you're just trying to make someone feel like a fool, then you're fighting someone who doesn't want to fight back.
Mm.
And everything's great in hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah, it always is, yeah.
And, it'll come out and then... But what led me to this whole thing was on social media, because you're scrolling and going, oh, yeah, we're going to do these 15-mile lockdowns. Oh, yeah, politicians. Oh, yeah, energy crisis. Oh, yeah. And sometimes you have to go, stop.
Mm.
Let's put on some bloody funny panda videos. Let's put some music on. Let's go and watch The Boy, the Mole, the Frog. And it's...
Something that uplifts instead of drags down.
Because misery sells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it loves company.
It loves company. So sometimes when you're there, once again, change the record, change the narrative, find something and just go, I can feel myself getting a bit et up here and I feel myself feeling a bit, and just go, all right then, I'm aware of it. I can either carry on doing it. I've identified what the problem is. Now what I'm going to do with it? Am I going to carry on repeating the cycle or am I going to do something different? And if that something different doesn't bring you joy, you know what? Do something different.
Yeah. That's about it, isn't it, Kev?
I mean, that's a bit.
You remember that quote?
Yeah, I'd say something. That thing, I could quote it every show for next year. But
might test that.
But we're going to leave now. We're on the radio as always. Black Country Extra, Thursday 7 till 9. So get the app or go to the website, tune in, and listen to us there. We'll have a few beats on as well, won't we, old pal?
We will.
But our quote from The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. What's the bravest thing you've ever asked? Help. Help isn't giving up, it's refusing to give up. So, guys, until we see each other next time, I want you all to take care of yourselves and each other. Ta-ra a bit.
Listen.
And that's a wrap for another show. But if there are any comments or messages that you would like us to read out for our next podcast, please be in touch. There are also lots of different organisations at the bottom of this page, and hopefully they can help you or someone you care about. Please share this to spread the word. Until we talk next time, ta-ra a bit.
Listen.